The first expense was paying $6 for a trolley. So we were like, dude, that's 420 rupees for a trolley that you would just use 5 minutes. Hello, I'm Aashish Chandratreya and I'm a photographer and a YouTuber. I recently moved to the United States of America to pursue a one-year course in photography. As soon as we came out of the immigration, we started converting currency as any typical Indian would do, because our first expense was paying $6 for a trolley. Yes, at the JFK airport of New York, you have to pay for trolleys and they are not free. Part of the day was pretty good though, because the driver of the Uber that we had called was actually Indian and he was speaking to us in Hindi. That made us feel that some family member had actually come to pick us up and not some stranger. So we just went to our Airbnb, made some ready-to-eat food that we had got from home and went off to sleep. And this was our first stay in the US, our Airbnb. We stayed here for 7 days. After that, we moved on to our individual rented apartments. First thing that we did after waking up the next morning is that we came here and we opened up a bank account for ourselves, because having a bank account in the US is very important to do all sorts of transactions. Also, since we were students, we got a $100 bonus. And this was the first station that we went into and got our first subway ride from. And I still remember when I went to the counter and asked the person to give me one ticket, he immediately recognized that I was a newcomer and he told me that, son, it's not a ticket, it's called a ride. Because ticket here is something that you get after you do something wrong. The thing that I truly love about New York is that the footpaths here are pretty wide, and that makes me love working on the streets. This right here is the first deli that we visited for grocery shopping after we came into the United States, and what we realized is that the price of commodities when compared and converted to INR is pretty high. For example, a loaf of bread costs around $2.75, where it was just 25 or 30 rupees back in India. Also, a subway ride to anywhere costs $2.75. That's almost more than 150 rupees, whereas it's just 10 rupees to the farthest location anywhere in Mumbai. That these people use the imperial system and not the metric system. They use miles, pounds and gallons instead of kilometers, kgs and liters. Well, though that was initially a little difficult, but somehow we managed and got used to the system. But then one system which I haven't got used to personally is the temperature system, because here temperatures are measured in Fahrenheit and not Celsius. And it gets confusing sometimes, because right now when I'm shooting it's 2 degrees Celsius, which you know that it's very cold, but then when you listen to it in Fahrenheit, it's 38 degrees Fahrenheit, which doesn't feel so cold to me, and hence it is a little confusing. I miss my mom's hand cooked food a lot, and that's why every month I ask her to send me something or the other, so maybe snacks or laddus or something that she prepares, just so that I can get the taste of her hand here in the US. So far the experience has been very good overall. I've been loving this change in location. Yes, there are times where I miss home a lot, especially during festivals, but then we try to celebrate it here as much as possible. New York City has transformed the always Uber riding Aashish to the always local transport taking Aashish. I've also started walking a lot more here than I used to at home. I've started preparing food by myself and also doing a lot of other things by myself. So I think it's a positive change, and I'm looking forward to spend 1 year in this amazing city.